And I'm actually at the warehouse distribution center for a delivery express company which utilizes unmanned autonomous delivery vehicles. For quite a few years now, we have seen small robotic vehicles doing food deliveries, groceries in geofenced areas. But now we are seeing bigger van-sized unmanned vehicles autonomously driving alongside us on both rural and urban roads. This AV that we're seeing is a legacy vehicle, first deployed about 2 years ago, and is the workhorse of the local fleet. It's simply a functional box on wheels, but with a full sensor suite, which is integrated with both the physical and digital infrastructure, enables it to do fully autonomous 24/7 all-weather operations. And the price is very low. It's only about $10,000 to acquire, and monthly maintenance costs around about $500. Expected to go down further. Vehicles of this kind have undergone large-scale deployment over the last couple of years, and the experience has yielded some favorable outcomes in terms of delivery efficiencies and cost reductions. Part that is often quoted from this experience is that 2 vehicles are able to perform the work of 11 traditional delivery stations. Here we see one pulling into a street-side delivery station in a relatively rural location. And if there is no suitable parking, a mobile controller can be used to guide it, park it within the last 100 meters or so. So what's driving this rollout? Besides cost and efficiency factors, there's an ecosystem of technology, policy, and financial factors that's driving this rollout. This industry, like many others, are seeing the adoption of 5G, Internet of Things, and artificial intelligence or AI technologies. And this is manifested in improved sensors and maturing sensor fusion driven by AI that are accelerating vehicle autonomy, as well as advancements in LiDAR, cameras, edge computing, so on and so forth. Here we're seeing a somewhat tricky and complex situation where you have obstacles appearing on many sites all around, and they're kind of moving around in a haphazard, unpredictable way. So the vehicle goes through the motions of slowing down, stopping, backing up, scanning its surroundings. It avoids as necessary, it adapts as necessary, and then navigates onward to continue its task. This kind of behavior on the road is also possible due to very fast 5G communications, which enables the various components, if you will, the subsystems, to talk to each other and share data very fast in real time. And then increasingly, you have the adoption of V2X, or vehicle to everything communications, which connect with smart traffic systems, anticipate traffic changes, light changes, connect with weather systems, coordinates with other nodes, and basically this enables more precise on-the-fly mapping and navigation. In recent times, we have also seen battery technology evolve very rapidly. So taking into account all these tech factors for the delivery business, it means that automation and AI-powered models are driving end-to-end upgrades from warehousing to last-mile delivery. On the regulations and policy side, there's a certain momentum in building frameworks and providing support. The blue-shaded regions, countries on this map have been some of the first movers by enacting friendly laws, enabling trials, pilot zones, and some commercial rollouts. And more countries are joining this fray with each passing day. This tech platform also supports climate change initiatives and aligns with net zero emission targets and sustainability efforts. Another big one is labor shortage and demographic challenges in many markets, especially East Asia and major parts of Europe.
and this is driving automation in many tasks and roles. And last but not least, it's about following the money. Strategic tech investments by companies, public-private partnerships. They're also accelerating real-world deployment and pushing automation to scale. So how many of these are routinely driving around out there? On the high side, it's about 6,000, and some nations and regions are leading the charge with deployment and trials. Other regions like the United Arab Emirates, Singapore, South Korea, Australia have also started joining in recently. The total number seems relatively low given the powerful technology drivers. If we look at the flip side, there are some significant headwinds. There is high regulatory and policy burden. Testing, certification, approval frameworks are limited. Operations are confined, and there are no globally uniform and interoperable standards and certifications yet. Investment and commitment to the right infrastructure, digital infrastructure, physical infrastructure takes time. Another big push factor is public acceptance, which remains elusive in some regions more than others, and this is crucial for widespread adoption. But these challenges are being gradually chipped away as the pull factors gradually outweigh the push factors. For these autonomous vehicles, the wheels are already in motion and the momentum is only growing. So the growth prospects are very bright. The segment is looking to grow about 20% CAGR for the next 10 years. And there are economic gains and spillover effects, which are anticipated to be very substantive. Some research suggests addition of a couple of $1 trillion to the global economy in the next 10 years. And this vehicle can also negotiate unmarked roads as it returns to its base, ready for its next run.